I've had a lot of people from the last video that I posted that have asked me what my cut list, supplies that I've needed. So today we started with actually building some blueprints, developing a cut list. The cut list, I've designed it to make it the maximum space available for being able to use one sheet of plywood to minimize the cost.
Cut list for the rabbit hutch. I've also diagrammed where each cut would be made, both on the sheet of plywood and 2x4s. The video that we will go through now putting together, we're actually going to show you how we put these pieces together. I'm going to assemble a rabbit cage using these blueprints as a guideline, and if anyone wants a copy of the blueprints, we'll make them available for you free of charge, no cost.
This right here is my cut list. We're going to take a sheet of plywood, we're going to mark every place we need to cut, just like this on here. And I will mark that, cut in the pieces. Cut list. Take all my 2x4s. I'm marking 32 inches right here. All of our 2x3s cut. Now we have all of our wood cut, ready to put it together. You've got 9 2x4s and one sheet of front frame and the back frame together. This right here is the front frame. You can see it's just a little bit bigger than the back frame. Step is for us to put the two frames and hook them together, and it will look something like this. This right here is the front frame. This collar. The next 32-inch piece, and I flipped the actual frame over, and now I'm taking to the bottom right here, and I am just nailing on to the very end to give it stability. So it's time to add the wire. This right here is the coated mesh wire we're going to take, and I will roll it out here. As I roll it, I will then take a pair of regular wire cutters, tin snips. We will cut the piece we need, and then I will take and staple it down. We have taken the two larger angled pieces, and we have taken the 12-inch piece. We nailed it on 16 inches high, which is perfect for the door to be able to go through. And at this point in time, we will nail it in. It will help hold the wire down, and we will be able to put the door in. This right here, we will be putting a resting pad for the rabbits to rest on. That way they can get off the wire and still be outside. We have one last board to put in place. The next step, we're going to put the interior to the shelter in. We slide it right in here. We will screw this on. This right here is our resting pad. We are going to take and screw it right in here. Before we do that though, I do need to notch the corners. So we're going to take and cut the corner out so it'll slide all the way up. This is the bottom to the shelter. We have notched the edges around the 2x4s and we're screwing it in. We're now going to put the wire on. We put the wire before we put the exterior of the shelter. If I tip it up on its end, and then I can put the piece of wire and we get it stapled on. There's an overlay for the back of the shelter to cover up the edge of the wire. I'm going to take the rabbit cage, move it up on its end, take the piece of wire, staple it on. Now we've got the wire stapled to the side of the rabbit cage. We're going to take the last 32-inch piece we have, we put it across the top where we will nail it on. This right here is the door. We will modify the door, but we're going to work on the door frame. It goes right here. When we put the wire on, we've covered it up. Now cutting the wire out. The wire that's cut out needs to be saved. It will be used in the door. Make some strips. Put the strips in here, which is going to use to create a frame for the door to be able to shut into. When you get it in there, see how it fits? We're now going to put the end piece on, just to make it easier to do. I tip it up, rabbit cage, as it is extremely light. We have the front piece right here. To put it on, I am going to lift it. Once again, I am going to make sure it covers the wire. Now, as I'm doing this, I will likely later add a door to the front of it. There becomes the front without the door. This right here is the roof. The roof, when we get on there, we will take and actually later be able to hinge it so it can lift, giving you easy access to get into the rabbits right there. For now, I am just screwing it together. And there, with the hinges on it, you've got the door. About 1,500 square inches, just big enough for 2 rabbits. I don't typically go much further than this until I actually transport it, where I'm taking it. At that point in time, I screw the legs on, which are your last 2 pieces.